For more latest news from the sports multiverse, please like, share, and subscribe The Bridge and hit the bell icon to never miss a notification.
Cricketing sports to grow. I mean, we are at a curve of disruption, and I don't know, maybe it takes 1 or 2 years, but the kind of, as I said, the people need avenues to release their energy and be active in terms of their health. And that is one way people will start playing different kind of sports. Second, also in terms of content, we want to watch things which excite us. So if there is a person who can probably, for example, soccer or hockey, if they see there is some kind of excitement in that sport, of course, there is an appetite of audience which will absorb that. The idea of PHL was to curate a product of handball primarily in a way that it becomes an international property. We create a league concept for this sport, which is one of the fastest Olympic sports. Also, because the country where handball, we see the reach in India, the handball reach is in tier 2, tier 3 in a big way. There is a young population and the sport being very fast. We see that it's going to have the attention of the masses. Also, there are 11 lakh players of handball. The ecosystem is already there. So only thing which PHL plans to do is curate a product in the league format so that the sports reaches out and gets popularized among the masses. To make this league a national league wherein we have different states teams representing different states. And in the first season, we are looking at men's league, but eventually we are having a women's league also under our banner, which we want to start in coming times. Also invested now in the PHL are coming from a startup ecosystem industry. I mean, we work with startups, we mentor them, we invest in them. So when came on board, we looked at this product just like that. We were not looking at it in another way. The idea is it's a baby and we need to give everything. I mean, the money, time, and of course, all the resources and connections which we have. Stakeholders for this are, of course, the directors and the shareholders of Bluesport, which is going to run the Premier Handball League. Also, Indian Handball Federation, which is going to be one of the main body which is supporting us, and curate has already built up some ecosystem for handball in the country for last many years. So these are probably the main stakeholders, and the vision here is primarily to make handball a sport which is aspirational. People would want to make a career out of it. Also, I would say very close to our heart vision is that we should have some representation in the Olympics, which we have not been able to get. So maybe it takes us 8 years or 7 next. 2 Olympics after this, maybe we are qualifying for that. But the immediate goal is to create a world-class league in the first season, and that should itself make I would say, impact, and we will see more. We'll be adding more teams, of course, after the first league, but we would be, I would say, once the product is delivered, we should have the global eyes on India as a country where handball appetite as a product to sell as well as play becomes visible. Marketing promotion, we are reaching out to a lot of lot of companies who sponsor, have a mandate to sponsor sports, and are looking to come and launch something in this with this product. especially what we have seen is European companies who play handball at a very high level and who know maturity of handball is there in those markets and trying to enter Indian market are showing a very keen interest to get associated with us on a long-term basis. So that is a very good news, and I think that has given us a lot of confidence that okay, we will get good sponsorship and good corporates, which will actually add to the value of the game. Also, there have been commitments, or I mean, dialogues with companies who have said that okay, not only we'll sponsor it, but we're going to take the team abroad and make them play in a club tournament there. The winning two teams will probably go there. So there are a lot of dialogues happening on those lines. Probably by the our plan is not this year that we're going to have the league. We'll probably move it to the next year because a lot of sports have shifted and the broadcasters doesn't have the slots. So we'll be having the league sometime in next year, and soon, as we've been we'll lock one or two sponsors. That news will also be disseminated to you guys. Right now, we have 6 teams in the first season. The teams are being picked up through. We are trying to spread the team across India and in the northeast, southwest states, and the player pool which we have identified is through the federation. We have got the list of players who are the A category and a B category. We divided them in those levels, seeing their ranking in terms of how they perform in different sport leagues. The national leagues and the matches where they've represented India, we've categorized them in those stats, and that backend data has been built. So the players will be then distributed in the team, so they can probably and we also get the pool of foreign players from the International Handball Federation and the Asia Handball Federation, and seeing we'll be distributing 2 players per team on to create a balance kind of a team in each state, and then once this is done, of course there will be coaches and camps being planned for them, which will culminate to the league eventually. The first season we're not going to move them around, we're going to keep them to one city, and in the next season we'll probably be traveling around like the home and away concept. Since this time we see COVID prevailing for an even longer time, and there'll be a lot of changes in the rules and regulations, so we would want to keep them at one point. I see non-cricketing sports to grow. I mean, we are at a curve of disruption, and I don't know, maybe it takes 1 or 2 years, but the kind of, as I said, the people need avenues to release their energy and be active in terms of their health, and that is one way people will start playing different kind of sports. Second, also in terms of content, we want to watch things which excite us. So if there is a person who can probably, for example, soccer or hockey, if they see there is some kind of excitement in that sport, of course there is an appetite of audience which will absorb that. And with the 5G years, there is going to be a big disruption, and we want to see a lot of people seeing. I mean, you need to have content. There will be audience to watch it, and if you can package the content well and create the excitement for the audience, will get eyes. So 20, I probably said somewhere, I quoted on the social media also, that I see 2030 being India being a country where cricket, I mean, that we are looking out of cricket and other sports will take the lead, because if you see in terms of even financially, the sportsmen's growth in other sports in the developed countries is bigger. Cricket, I think 2-3 countries in Europe play cricket. Other than that, it's all different sports which are playing, and why they're playing is because, one, the sportsman gets the money to run his household, and his life is secured, and the career is aspirational. So if you create an ecosystem where there is a possibility to have income for the sportsman, and the respect and the celebrityness or glamorization of the sport, then you get good products coming. players are also pushed to perform their best. They are being watched closely. They are being coached in a very, very concentrated way. Also, you are getting best of the talents from the world to share the same floor, same the playing ground, and automatically when you work with the better people than you, then only you learn. So the leagues provide you that platform. You have so much money spent by the coaches, the physio guys, there is a manager who's watching each player's routine. So if that much focus comes to a sport, there is automatically going to be a result coming out of it. It can be in terms of the team or the national team getting improved, or in a way the league also producing results which have never been seen. Who's thought that there will be 200 runs by a person in a T20 match? But it's all happening because there is so much sports happening around you, and then you want to perform, because it's like any avenue of workplace or studies or sports is also something like that. You learn when you are exposed to more things, and leagues are giving you that opportunities. One, it was an Olympic sport. So I come from a startup ecosystem. So we were looking at avenues to enter a sport, something in the sports sphere, and this opportunity came up, and we evaluated it, and we said, okay, it's an Olympic sport. India has not been represented in Olympics in handball, so it is an opportunity where we can also contribute in a way. Number two, there is a big market and the speed of the game. When we see the game, we realize this is why aren't we watching it? Why didn't we watch it earlier? Because the idea was there was no broadcaster or no kind of infrastructure in India to showcase those handball matches. There is, of course, there is constraint because it's a big country, how much you spend on sport, but this government or the previous governments have started working, creating a ecosystem for this. So that was a call which we took, and then also we are exposed to what has happening in Europe and all with the sports, and we saw that if that is happening in Europe today, eventually that is bound to happen. If something gets along, works with handball, that's bound to happen here, because if a person in Europe is liking something, there is very good chance that Indian person will also enjoy that sport. So that was we did a big pros and cons kind of a SWOT analysis before taking this thing. Of course, there are challenges. The sport is not popular. We need to popularize it, and there is where, as investor, will probably add to this challenge and try to solve the problem.